All right, I know this video is probably long overdue, but I want to talk to you guys about the current state of Dead Matter. My name is Bigfry, and if you guys don't know what Dead Matter is, it was a game that initially launched on Kickstarter in August of 2017. Last August was around the 3-year anniversary of that. They released their closed alpha test to backers and subsequently ended themselves day one. The way they handled the key distribution out to the backers, the servers were screwed, and the game just in general was in a state that was not acceptable for 99% of people who bought into that alpha. After watching all of the dev blogs through the years, the coverage that I've done on the game, I was one of the more prominent content creators for Dead Matter, and watching it kill itself before it even kind of got out the gate was super disappointing. Really, really unfortunate. And in the months following, I've been pretty quiet when it comes to Dead Matter. What I've been seeing in terms of their dev blogs and stuff like that hasn't really been a lot of progress. Now, I can't say there hasn't been progress. They have dropped a lot of weekly updates and then monthly roundup updates to keep you guys in the loop. But when it comes to playing the game in the current state that it's in, it's just not worth it. Compounded on the fact that they were shooting for an early access release on Steam in 2021. It's funny, I was just talking about this on my live stream yesterday, and I said there's no fucking way Dead Matter is releasing on Steam in 2021. And if it does, they're literally killing their product and fucking themselves even harder. And lo and behold, today they announced that the game is going to be delayed until 2022. So we have another delay. Granted, I will give them credit on this one. At least we didn't have a concrete date set in stone, and then a delay happens a month out. They were shooting for 2021. They never had a concrete even quarter at this point. I just knew, based on the current state of the game, which I can't even talk about because it's still under NDA, the game is not ready to go. And the really unfortunate thing too is throughout the last few months, I've been wanting to jump in and cover the game for you guys and show you where the game is at. And when I go and read the dev blogs and install the game, it's just not worth it. And that's probably been the biggest killer for me, is like, what do you talk about? Do you continually harp on the fact that they launched one of the most disastrous closed alpha tests that I think I've ever seen in my life? I mean, we could talk about it, but at the end of the day, I've just been kind of sitting back, remaining hopeful that they're going to be able to pull this shit together. And seeing this delay today has really just kind of it's put me in a really shitty mood, because over the last few months, I've been seeing a lot of the more prominent team members leave the studio. Guys like Gunslinger, guys like Disseminate, guys like Shirk before the closed alpha. We lost a lot of, I would say, the more key people that were involved in, I would say, me being a lot more excited for the product back during like the early Kickstarter days and shortly after, and that first kind of like year after the Kickstarter was finished and they wrapped up and they kept, accepting funds on Indiegogo and everything seemed to be going so great. All of those people are gone. Moved on to other projects, moved on to other studios. In this announcement, they say that their team has grown, which is good. So they've obviously brought more people in. But what I keep seeing around this project is them talking about the struggles and them talking about the issues that pop up and them talking about how they want to change the development workflow to make sure that they're doing more for the updates and that they're happy with the work that's going on. And I'm just seeing a lot of reflecting and trying to fix issues, which is what development is at the end of the day. But when you look at the monthly roundup for March, you read one of the paragraphs here. While many things had worked well in them pushing out 0.6 to their community, our workflow had evolved in a positive way to meet the challenges of fixing the myriad of issues with the game. There were just as many that hadn't. They also strongly wanted to move Dead Matter back on track and towards the game that we all know it can be. The revamping the workflow, and this patch came up with a bunch of issues and a bunch of issues and a bunch of issues, and we're looking at 2021, and then now 2021 delayed to 2022. it's getting increasingly more difficult to be actively following this project, and I feel like a lot of people feel the same way. Dead Matter in my community burned a lot of you guys. It burned me. I mean, shit. This game was something that I was banking on for a long time in terms of not only just creating content, but being able to play with my community on a server. We got offered partnerships with survival servers to have a server up day one. I was so excited, man. And that excitement deflated, I think, harder than almost any other game that I have covered on this channel. Ready or Not had a disastrous alpha launch. But I just released a video a couple of weeks ago talking about their new publishing partnership that's going to revitalize that game and make sure that they have the resources to do what they need to do. All of these other games are slowly clawing themselves back. And I'm watching Dead Matter move forward in development, but not making the strides that I think they need to make in order to keep their community engaged with this project. One thing I was thinking about the other day, if Dead Matter were to go the route of World War III, and what that means is they go radio silent for 2 years, work on the game, don't release updates, and just hope people forget, it's really tough, because I actually don't think that we can truly comprehend how hyped and how popular Dead Matter was going into that closed alpha launch. When I dropped my first video talking about the current situation with Dead Matter, like it was like either that night or the night after that closed alpha launch, I remember a lot of those views initially on that video were coming from a website that was basically a pirating torrent site, and Dead Matter was trending #1 on that website. That's outside of this community. That's outside of, I think, the Dead Matter community. That's just like gamers. Like, it reached a level where there were so many people anticipating that project. And when you hear about Dead Matter now and somebody brings up Dead Matter, the words that are associated with it now are terrible release, botched release, flopped release. And the problem is I actually don't think that Quantum Integrity, I don't think they're going to be able to claw their way back from it. I think it was too big of a bridge to burn. That tower came collapsing down, and that was a tall fucking building. I reached out to the devs a couple of weeks ago here to do some coverage, maybe do a live stream, showcase the game, and then this early access launch getting delayed to 2022 just hits, and I'm just over it. At this point, like, I'm not calling it. I really do wish the developers the best, and I hope that the game inevitably does come out. But being actively involved in following the game and it's just not there. And I've wanted to do coverage and keep you guys in the loop, but to be honest with you guys, it's just not a product worth talking about at this point. And I think it just hurts more than anything else. The hype that was built around it to now sitting here being like, I don't even want to talk about it because it's not worth talking about. It's kind of fucking crazy. I truly actively feel like this game isn't going to be releasing into Steam Early Access in 2022 either. I feel like it's going to be hitting Steam late 2023. And just thinking about that, another 2 years from now, considering it's been almost 4 years since that Kickstarter wrapped up, my whole entire thought on Dead Matter at this point is disappointment. And it's not even about the delay, because I think really, realistically, it's a good move. I feel like if they were to go to Steam Early Access now, that would just end their company. So it is a good move, but in doing that, I think it just really showcases what kind of state the current product is in. And it's just something that I don't want to discuss. And it sucks because I know you guys are looking for it. I get asked every single day, what the fuck is going on with Dead Matter, Bigfry? And the truth is, to be honest with you guys, I have no fucking idea anymore. And moving forward, I think I'm just going to keep it that way until it maybe hits early access. My name is Bigfry, and I know as a community we got burned super fucking hard. And I know a lot of you guys still feel the effects of that. Every time I cover a new game, I'm seeing a lot of comparisons when it comes to the day before. I'm seeing a lot of people compare it to Dead Matter, and I can't blame you. It's just one of those things. I really wanted to talk about the development, but the NDA being on there, as well as the game just being in such a bad state in alpha, it's just not the time for dead matter. And I'm hoping 2-3 years from now, I can be as excited as I can be about this game hitting early access and making huge strides like games like Scum are doing right now. But that's so far in the fucking future that I actually can't even see it at this point. If it happens, it happens. But if it doesn't, I don't think I'll be surprised anymore. My name is Bigfry. If you guys enjoy the content, please leave a like on the video. Consider subscribing. And I'll see you on the next one.